What's up, YouTube? It smells like Vin here, and today I'm gonna be bringing you guys another album review. Now, I know what so many of you are thinking, dude, the music in the background doesn't fucking work. Turn it off. I always want the music of the album that I'm reviewing in the background as I review. I feel like it adds a lot to the video. I don't know why. I don't necessarily know what it is. I just feel like it adds a lot. So this video is a test. So if you can hear what I'm saying well, and it's balanced with the music behind it, tell me. If you can't hear me that well, tell me. If you think the music should be even higher because you can't hear it enough, tell me. Just give me feedback. Because I always feel like the music really enhances the reviews, and I love putting music behind the video, but give me feedback on what you think about how it sounds, and then I'll know what volume to put it, how loud I should talk, how close I should be to the camera, all that good stuff. And today, we are going to talk Blue Cheer, and funny enough, I'm wearing all blue today, so. And Blue Cheer were a really, really underappreciated psychedelic acid rock group from the late 60s. And I reviewed Wincibus Eruptum, which is their first full-length LP, which is a classic. But this album is just as good, in my opinion. It might be a little bit better. And Blue Cheer specialized in a lot of feedback, a lot of wah-wah-driven, crunchy, psychedelic guitars, extremely hard-hitting drums, a very warm, sunny vibe, and great, catchy vocal melodies. And it all encompassed this really cool acid rock, psychedelic rock sound. And they have so many cool things going for them that it's kind of surprising that they didn't get more, you know, recognition. The guitar tones, fantastic. Really, psychedelic and crunchy, extremely heady. A lot of times during the solo, the guitar will phase in and out each ear, and it's kind of like, whoa, like a whirlwind of sound. And the band is known for its fuzz and feedback. They were innovators of heavy metal because that's what they started to use, a lot of crunch and feedback and stuff like that. And it kind of separated them from all the other contemporaries because they were loud as fuck. In fact, I don't know if this is a rumor or not, I think it's true. When they were recording this album, it was so loud that they had to record it inside and outside. That's why it's called Outside Inside. And people from miles away could hear them playing, apparently. And another thing I like about this album is that it changes from like really heavy songs to kind of airy, spacey songs, like Sun Cycle, which is a really cool, laid-back, kind of spacey song until it kicks in, the amps go up to 10 and it just blows you away. The bass is also cool. Dickie Peterson, who was the vocalist and bassist of Blue Cheer, rest in peace. I think he died not too long ago. You can always hear his bass lines. They're always very audible, and they're extremely warm. They have a really warm tone to them, which fits the overall mood of the album. So yeah. And I guess that should bring me to Dickie's vocals. Peterson's vocals are really cool because they have this sort of I don't give a shit kind of vibe to them. He's kind of just singing because he has to sing the song. And I don't mean that in a bad way either. But a lot of time he can go really not growly, but he can kind of yell, and he has this out-of-control, almost punk-like voice, which, of course, this is way before punk even had its first little infancy. But in my opinion, Blue Cheer I think, influenced punk and basically every aggressive kind of out-of-control music style after them, but that's just me. Maybe I'm overrating their influence, but I don't think so. But like most influential bands, they don't get recognition, so. But yeah, so the whole album is just this kind of nice, warm landscape of psychedelic rock songs. They're not too short, they're not too long, but the cool thing is, they're jam heavy. The band has, sorry, my nose is itchy, they have a tendency to just say, like right here on Sun Cycle, that was good, and then they just go all out into these kind of spacey jam tunes, and the drummer's just wailing on his drums, and you know, Lee Stevens, who is the band guitarist, who unfortunately he left after this record, but he just spits out these crazy psychedelic guitar solos and jam sessions, and the whole band just goes full force, and it's phenomenal. And then they bring it right back into the groove and into the pocket of where the song originally built off of, which is why it's so cool. They never become pretentious and like showy. They always have the perfect amount of jamming, and they go back into the song and end it, and kind of have a end and a conclusion. Some of the best songs on this album, Sun Cycle is a great song. Gypsy Ball is an awesome song. Come and Get It is awesome, has one of the best grooves I've ever heard. Feathers from Your Tree is the opener, that's also great. What are some really other good ones? Babylon is really cool. Basically, they're all really good. There's no bad songs on the album. They're all definitely enjoyable, and they add something to the album. Production. The production on this album took a while for me to get used to, because the production on Blue Cheer's first album, Winsibis Optum, was thick and very heavy, and it sounded very full, and naturally I thought it sounded awesome. So coming to this album sounds nimble, sounds thin, it sounds almost bellied, but I don't mean that in a bad way. And I know you're gonna be like, well, thin and nimble and bellied sounds kind of like a bad thing. In my opinion, that brings out the fuzzy, warm, psychedelic nature of the album. To some people that may not make sense, but if you listen to the album, you'll know what I mean. All the phaser effects, all the wah-wah drenched guitar, even the phaser drums that they add sometimes, all that sounds good when it's a little weird sounding, when it's a little off-kilter. In my opinion, the kind of muffled production helps the psychedelic nature of the album and gives it that really heady, trippy feel that, in my opinion, all 60 kind of psychedelic acid rock albums should have, and is a great production. It takes getting used to, and I didn't like it when I first heard it, but it totally grew on me, and I think it adds a ton to the record. The flow, there really isn't much to say. The band successfully, like I said, kind of punches you in the face with certain songs, and then kind of slows them down and makes them really chill and kind of spacey. And like I said, the whole album has a really earthy kind of tone to it that perfectly sums up what the album's trying to do. And moments like this just psych you the hell out. You're sitting there like, oh shit, like you never expect anything and what the album is going to throw at you. The album always kind of takes a turn, and it's very zigzag, and it basically just goes wherever it wants. The structures are very weird. The songs do tend to get pretty progressive, and it's just a sweet, sweet album. So, yeah, if you're in Hendrix, Pink Floyd, The Doors, psychedelic rock, then you're basically doing yourself a disservice by not picking up some of the early Blue Cheer albums. They're phenomenal. They're really, really good, and I respect them a lot. I feel like they were totally overlooked in their time, and even now, they don't get the recognition I feel they deserve. But do all really, really good musicians get the recognition they deserve? No, they don't. So I'm gonna give this album a 9.5. There's really nothing I can say that there's wrong with it. It's a phenomenal record, and it's Blue Cheer, Outside Inside, released in 1968 or 69. I'm sorry if I got that wrong. I'm pretty sure it's 68. And I'll see you guys next time. Thanks for watching. Oh, and don't forget, leave feedback on how the music worked in this review.